hello Nigerians and hello Nigerians in diaspora. Welcome to your favorite TV channel, Take You Back TV, and welcome to your favorite Facebook page, Omoyele Showres page. And we are live here in the city of Lagos, Nigeria. I'm still your favorite TV girl, Zainab. So for everybody who's been asking of me, thank you so much for your care, thank you for your support, thank you for your words. And for those who sent one thing or the other and who were trying to use Scope to get my number, I got all the messages, so thank you so much. We'll be having, as usual, a date with our presidential candidate, and he's soon going to join us. But while we wait for him, so why don't you guys throw in questions that you might want to ask me or him if I can answer on his behalf, and let's do what we know how to do best. Let's raise fun. So, this campaign, this organization, this movement, this party is not run by any godfather, god society, god anything. We do this based on crowdfunding, which is why, we have some corporate beggar, and you see me begging that you don't have to be a Nigerian to donate, and you don't have to be in Nigeria to donate. You can be anywhere in the world and donate through the Zenith Bank account details that's going to be pinned on the screen right about now. The account number is 10060233871. Yeah, so that's Zenith Bank account details for Nigeria, and for the GoFundMe is GoFundMe/Showre2019. Also, you can donate via World Remit and every other means. We have a Bank of America account. It's going to come and it's going to give you details of that. But before he comes, so what questions do you have for me, people? Let it start rolling in. And if you want my number, please donate a sizable amount of money to the movement before you can get my number. Sizable, starting from like $100,000. And I'm going to give my number. Yes, no. So guys, let the questions keep rolling in and keep dropping the money. We're going to read out everybody who actually donates, no matter how little. And if you want to make pledges too, people have donated cars, table water, posters, stickers. In fact, buildings, we got one in Badagry area, not Badagry, but Badagry area. And you're going to see it because we'll be going there one of these days and we'll be streaming live. So you see that everything we are saying on camera, we are not lying about it. They are for real. People actually donating. So please, if you like my face, donate to the movement. Thank you very much.
Then you have just a few persons donating, if that's the reason to donate.
See if somebody beefing my
because
glory.
you believe in the movement.
Yes. Oh my
I think
God.
that's most important.
Hey. Okay, they say you should donate because you believe in the movement. But please donate because you like my face too. Oh, so let me wait, hold on. What's wrong with this one? Well, it's a nobody. His name is Femi Adeyeye. Come and sit down. Everything like you are humble.
And let me
take it back.
Action.
AAC.
Take it back.
Take it back.
Action. So let me take you up like Showre did to the man who called him inconsequential, because he just said inconsequential.
No.
And you just rubbished my generation. You see? And you. No, you're smiling. By this time next year, you'll not be smiling.
What for?
All right, Nigeria. No, that was wow, Showre. I was just trying
take
to.
It back.
Okay, I will take. Okay, by
Take
this time
that
next
back.
year, you'll be smiling in Hassel Rock.
Apparently, we all know that the words of Omoyele Showre are bing bing.
Yeah, and that's true.
And
because
this one is like a younger version. So before you come and say something that is not inside my life,
and you
take
know,
it back.
okay, I've taken it back.
Someone said, if I can see your hair, I will donate right
Hey! Oh no!
Nigerians, let me go back to the inconsequential man before you show them your hair, because seriously, we need money to run all of this. And
So it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter what anybody. In fact, if you want me to strip naked, we need money. But it depends on the
I didn't say that you can strip
Who is
naked.
missing from me?
Who is?
Michael.
I miss you.
Michael.
I miss you, young man.
You miss
A
me?
man is missing.
A man is missing me! Please don't! Thank you very much.
Sia is blushing.
No, please stop. Please stop.
Sia is blushing. Somebody is missing.
It's okay.
Boy,
Let's
is
stop.
missing.
Please, I miss you too. That's the way to go. You said something about Shore's words being very powerful and all of that. And I won't lie to you. The person who is in the best
Jeremiah,
position.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. The best, as in the person who is in the best position to tell you how strong and powerful Shore's words are. I'm very sure he's Adebayo Shitu. Because Shore told him that by this time next year, and that was around April. That was after the elections.
Yes.
So we're talking about March, April 2019, that he would not be smiling. But believe you me, this man is not smiling already in September. He's not smiling because already he has lost the ticket to run as a governor. He's been pressurized also now to resign as a minister. If he does not do that, this last week he didn't do that. So I think this next week. So by the time, just like Shure said, he said you will go back to what you used to do, and which is being a charge and bail lawyer. No. Charge and bail.
I mean, I'm a lawyer too. Whether I'm big.
No, I'm talking about. No, I'm talking about places where law are still, as in law as a course is still accredited.
What's your point, young man?
No, I know of Obafemi Awolowo University where you finished from. I know that.
I graduated at the point where Faculty of Law was still very much accredited.
But what's the position of law now?
Whatever, we're coming back. So guys, do you have questions? And you that you want to see my hair, Astaghfirullah. God will forgive me for you. No, I'm not showing my hair. I'm not. Next. You push your comment. Maybe you were laughing at something.
Okay.
Take it back.
Action.
Read what you want to
Comments. Go ahead.
read.
Isaiah, see boy say so now only woman feel make you stammer, you know if you speak grammar again.
If I see your hair, I will donate 500,000 naira.
Is it 500,000 naira or 500
or 50 naira?
It's 500 naira.
No, no.
Okay, it's actually 500 naira. See now, see where
It's 500 naira.
500 naira.
500
Already we have that.
See where they point stop now. There's no
We
comma.
cast out every spirit
Then
of
why
confusion.
30?
Who wants to- Every demon that is bringing confusion.
People don't know how
into
to
our
count
camp,
numbers
you know.
zeros again.
No.
500 naira, 500,000. No, maybe $500,000.
Okay.
I'll consider.
You consider.
I could show you like maybe a tiny bit, like a strand, you know.
With $500,000, we just walk into the villa.
And say,
well, no.
Let's just
that's
start.
just
I
it.
mean, no election.
We'll just walk into the villa.
No election
it's as
again.
simple as that.
So about $500,000 people. Let's make it happen. So seriously, please donate to the movement. We need all the fund that we can get. We need all the cash. We need all the kind.
It's 500,000 naira, you said.
And thank you very much. I'm still not showing my hair. Thank you so much. I'm actually flattered, but no, I'm not showing my hair. Sorry, I'm not.
And the main reason why you should support the movement is because it is a movement that has proven to be the most formidable to house out these people out of power come 2019. I don't say if I'm same here. I'm not sure I'm safe here. I will try as much as possible to do this. And we're pleading to Nigerians to see this as
Oh my God.
What's happening?
Someone said, so your hair is valuable as corruption is to Buhari ba.
No, that's not true. My hair is not valuable. Now let me look for a defense to that.
Okay.
But you see, in this life, sometimes when you are being pushed to a wall.
Material condition.
Yeah. Wait, are you supposed? You are.
No. I'm supporting you. I'm supporting
you're on this
you.
side.
Definitely.
You're supposed to support me.
Yes,
Not
we're
the other way
defending.
around.
Yes, we're
Not the
defending
other
why
way.
you must, why you may, why you should show your hair for
But
500,000 naira.
on a more serious note, I wasn't going to trim my hair, so that was just a joke. So I'm not corrupt, please, and don't ever mention me and Buhari in the same statement again.
Oh.
I don't want it. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Next.
I was saying something before that very interesting interruption. And it's about this movement, which is the Take It Back movement, and it has proven to be the most formidable, as I've said, that is going to house out these people out of power come 2019. Shore has done three good things. Shore and the movement, very, very unprecedented. that is already shaping the narrative of what we are even discussing. We've elevated the discussion. You see, it is very, very embarrassing that even in the 21st century, we are discussing, the presidential aspirant is still coming to discuss building
How
of
to
roads,
make good roads,
how to patch
exactly.
roads, and all of
Water
that. While
power.
other countries are thinking about electric cars, in fact, they
Moving
are
technology
discussing
forward and
policies.
stuff, yeah.
You have in the US, they are discussing about gun policy, they're discussing foreign policy. Are we going to build Mexico wall? Are we going to pull it down? These are issues. But we still have in our own, it's just very sad.
Ours is
Still, we're still talking
filling
about
the potholes.
filling potholes. We're talking about, okay, power,
power,
at
24
least, not even 24 hours. Anybody who comes now to tell you that he's going to make even 12 hours, we're still going to applaud him.
Yeah, that's
You know, Governor Ambody, by the standard of governance in Nigeria, is the best governor because he pays salaries, you know. But elsewhere, why should paying of salary become a big deal? I worked, then I should get my salary. So the first thing this movement has achieved is to open the eyes of Nigerians to the fact that you do not have to have a big surname before you can run for office, before you can lead your people. It's only in Nigeria having a big surname is a political capital. If you do not have a big surname like Obasanjo, you don't have Saraki, you don't have Atiku, you don't have Buhari on your poster, then you cannot run, you're nobody. But Ishore has come out to tell you that yes, no, your surname is no more the political capital. Ideas should be what you put in front, and that ideas should be the first thing people would see on your poster and not your big surname. That's the first thing. The second very unprecedented thing is that we've changed the discussion and the situation around the engagement. We are not doing the kind of, we didn't start with all this rally type of politics, you understand? Because in rallies, you don't get to talk to the presidential aspirant, you don't get to talk, you understand? Because in rallies, what you do is, you wave, when they shout APC, people will say change, they shout PDP, you say power, and at that time, one person is struggling to get bottled water, the other person wants to get rice and all of that. By that time, they don't even say anything. What they do is that PDP will diss APC. APC will also insult PDP, and that's the end of the rally. But what we've done is that instead of going out in rallies, let us meet Nigerians in small rooms and speak with them in their 500s, in their 1,000, in their 2,000s. And the Take It Back movement and the African National Congress is the only party today that has engaged Nigerians in more than 70 events. 120 events.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. I've lost count. You know, Nigeria can affect you.
I think we have just about 5 states or less that
Yes, 6 states. 6 states left that we've not visited. So in town hall meetings, we've been able to engage Nigerians on issues that are very, very pressing, that has to do with the welfare of Nigerians. That's the second thing. And the third thing is what we are doing here tonight, which is transparent funding.
Yes.
You see,
what
we have no God. We have no godfather, we have no godmother anywhere. These are young people who are just tired of the status quo. Who are also, we also know you are also tired of the status quo. And what we are saying is that, okay, we can fund our campaign ourselves. Because there is no how, if you have a godfather, you have a godmother, you can't serve two masters. As a leader, you can't serve the people and serve your godfather. You would either pick one.
So, and a lot of times
it is the godfather.
That's where the funding comes from.
So when you give to the godfather, the crumbs that are left, that's what you give to the people.
And I'm actually also of the view, if you've watched a lot of the grassroots awareness and sensitization that we've done, I'm always of the view that what I tell people is, when these people come to spend money for you, the first thing naturally that they will do when they get into power is to take back the money they spend. Because at the end of it, it's just business. It's like investing. Because they know in 4 years, I'm going to take like triple, multiple of whatever it is that they spend. So the 5,000, in fact, looking at it, the people that are actually spending money are the people who have stolen the money.
Definitely. It's your
so
money.
It's like you are being given your money
yes,
for something that, I mean, it's still going to make you suffer at the end of the day, because you're selling 4 years for how much? 200. You were there in Yaba when the guy said he went for APC meeting. The one that showed us the ID card, and it was paid 3,000 naira.
3,000 naira for attending a meeting.
And I asked him that day, where's the 3,000 naira? He has spent it.
Definitely.
In like God knows how many hours. So if you still think, if you are still of the mentality that you have to be given a token before you can cast your vote for somebody who you know is capable and able to, you know, take Nigeria forward, then honestly, you're one of the problems we have in this country.
I created a scenario. In fact, the scenario is here with us. It's about a very close example is the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology issue. And yes, so that's your school. I understand. You know, one thing is very interesting about Lautech. It is the fixed. Why are you laughing? You know, you can say when you go to that school, you just say 5 plus X. Yes, that's what you're going to spend.
I know a school like that.
Yes. We won't mention the name, but
we
we know the
Makeme
school.
Awolowo University.
Yeah, but
we won't mention.
see, I never wanted to mention. You understand? So I was speaking with the student union president over the weekend, and he told me that comrade, I'm in 500 level, but I'm in year 7. You understand? That's the way they talk. Then I'm in 500 level, but I'm in year 7. I'm in 400 level, but I'm in year 6. So they have to.
They spent 6 years. In school.
Yes, which can even go further than that. But I was having this conversation, and I posted that thing on Facebook, and some people said I was mocking the masses in a way. It's not that. What I said was that if you or your parents, if you had collected 5,000 naira from Oyetola and the APC during the Osun State election, just be sure that now you're paying back. In fact, 4,900%, because of the 5,000 naira, because the school fees of Ladoke Akintola University of Technology Ogbomoso has just been increased from 65,000 naira to 200,000
and 250,
and yes, 72,000 naira to 250,000 naira for non-indigent.
Why should there even be a distinction in the first instance? You know, let's even forget the eyes. My own problem is, why should there be a difference in what an indigent pays and what a non-indigent does not pay? As far as I'm concerned, we're all Nigerians.
Definitely.
And I think we actually have to, you know, eradicate this principle of state of origin, where you're from. It's one of the reasons why I find myself being very reluctant to answer questions like, where is Shure from? What state is it from? Is it Yoruba? Is it Igbo? Because now that's going to be, you know, the sentiment why you're going to vote for him, and that's wrong.
Yes.
The point is, this uncle is a Nigerian, and he wants to do better for all Nigerians, not just his people, not just his. So as far as I'm concerned, it's Hausa, it's Yoruba, it's Igbo, it's Niger Delta, is anything you want to call
It's everything African, by the way.
That's it.
It's everything African.
Yeah, they want you to talk about the killings in Kaduna.
The killings in Kaduna.
Yeah.
Okay, we heard about the news of I can't remember the number of people.
55.
55, yes, 55. You know, it's a very sad thing that we now live in a country where nowhere is safe.
Yeah.
Nowhere is safe in this country. You can't be too sure that you would sleep in your house and wake with the roof, even that your roof will still be over your head. It's very, very unfortunate. And we still have a government that would not even accept that there were killings. Yeah. What happened just I think 2 weeks ago? Soldiers were killed and they were buried horribly. Yes. So that the news that some soldiers were killed would not go to the public, because Boko Haram, according to this government, has been defeated technically, emotionally, especially. And has been defeated financially too, because they just Buhari withdraw $1 billion out of the excess crude accounts to fight insecurity, according to them. So it's a very unfortunate thing. But
you should please speak up a bit. People are complaining about
of the audio.
Okay.
But you can also try to use headset to help better with the audio, because you know we're trying to talk as loud as we can.
On the couch, you know. I've been on the couch. Okay, according to your show.
Couch.
It's now called Our Time, by the way.
What?
It's called
Our Time.
Our Time.
Oh, it's not Our Time.
No.
Okay, so we're on the couch. Our time. On our time on the couch.
When show comes on his couch, on his time you would get. But as I was saying about the Kaduna killings and several other killings that are happening in this country, it has gotten to that point now in this country that we now have hashtags for every killing. Almost every week, you have an hashtag Kaduna killings, Benue killings, Taraba killings, Zamfara killings. It has got to that point that nowhere is safe, as I was saying the other time. And so that's the reason why we must kick out a government that does not even believe in the first, which is that, and that's the priority of the president. The first duty of the president is to secure life and property of everybody. And so you don't. So, but when you have a president who is telling you that 97% gave him, people who gave him 97% votes, and people who gave him 5% votes cannot be treated equally. You understand? You cannot give them. Then you know that something is wrong. So you can. That's what the president is saying, is that, in fact, someone said it over the weekend, that Buhari himself is the first defaulter of hate speech, because that speech alone is hate speech of the highest order. That a country that you're governing, you can still distinguish that some gave you 97%, even though that is wrong arithmetic. What should be the right thing is 97 and 3. Yes. But you have a president who is still saying 97 and 5. So let's just leave that mathematics and look at the morality of that kind of statement. So it shows that already you have polarized the country. And even the security matters of that country also has been polarized.
Yes.
And so such government must be kicked out by the people. It's as simple as that. There is no gainsaying about it.
But let me quickly add to it that, like you said, aside from the fact that now our government, obviously, let me say, does not care, our people are too calm and cold over these issues. And I find it very painful, especially because this girl that Leah, what's her full name is? Shuaibu. Now, this got me very angry when I saw the news. One, because yes, they were given the time frame, the deadline, and everything. Second, because at some point, the news even carried the wrong person. People actually, sent out the wrong picture image of the victim. Yes. And I think I was in my room the other night, and then somebody now had to post another picture to say, okay, this person bears the same name too, but she's the CEO of something, but this is a young girl. And for a split second, I'm like, well, come to think of it, this girl that was even killed was like way younger. Now our government said they don't do negotiation with insurgents and terrorists. That's not fair. That's life matters. And the fact is, Nigerians just, the news came and there was no reaction.
Yes.
There was no reaction. Somebody from USA actually sent a message to the TIB group, and she was like, so Nigerians, what is happening in Nigeria now considering the death of this girl? And another person just replied her that everybody's just going about their normal business. So it's so bad that if it's not my mother's child or my cousin brother, it doesn't really matter. It's just RIP.
Yes.
And we move on.
And it is.
And that's why we are not asking questions.
Yes.
We are not.
Africans are not modeled in that way.
No, Frederick said he would like to donate $50.
Oh, thank you
so much. Take it back.
Action.
I'm sure Frederick is donating because of my face, not because of Femi here. No, right, Frederick?
He's donating because of the movement.
Whatever. All these hater people. What is it? We are reaching the same goal. Movement and faith.
Thank you very much, Frederick. Yes. Thank you very much, Frederick. Your donation is going to go a long way in salvaging this nation from the hands of these scavengers. Yes. So as I was saying about, can you remind me?
I said
Africans are not modeled in a way, and I'm going to say this without prejudice, even to the race. To be probers, people who ask questions. Probity, we don't. Yes. There's this way we just try to adapt to situations. You understand?
And
look at how
Look
at how the fuel price thing came up, and people just shouted with us a week, and then after that we adapted. You understand? So this questioning ability, this ability to question everything, we don't, and that's how the society itself has been organized, that people don't ask questions.
But that's wrong. It
that
makes
very
me
wrong.
Feel like
very wrong.
A lot of us have just assumed we don't deserve better.
Yes, people. That's where I'm driving at that, because Nigerians now do not even see themselves as humans, and seriously, it's an ideology. Poverty itself is an ideology.
Yes, it is.
When you're beating down the poverty line and you don't even see yourself as human, That's even, you have poverty line, you have humanity line. Nigerians have been beating down also the humanity line. So that's saying that they don't see themselves as humans anymore. So when you don't see yourself as a human being, you cannot talk about having human rights.
Or human feelings.
Or human feelings. You can't even talk about having rights. You can't defend your rights. So when you tell Nigerians that you have a right, they will be like, oh, what kind of rights? The government, leave them. They don't do people. You can't fight the government. You can't question them.
You talk to some people and they will be like, sure, he's a good guy. Oh, I like him, but they will not allow. I'm like, who are they?
That's the question. Who are the they?
So like, because you think he's not going to win is why you would actually now decide to cast your vote for
which is even wrong.
Exactly.
He's going to become the president.
Exactly. I mean, grassroots actually gets to me a lot of times, especially when you listen to market women. We had an encounter with a nurse in Arena Oshodi.
Okay, Oshodi.
You were there? No. Juwon actually engaged to this woman, and I mean, I was close to tearing up because the way she was passionately saying she was not going to vote. Our one was not even APC, PDP. She did not even want to hear anything about anybody because she said it as if she was carrying a little girl at her back, and she was like, she's been toiling every day for this baby to attend school, to be fed and everything. So she does not know what any government wants to do for her at this point of her life. The highest thing we could do was we gave her the pamphlet, like, okay, we see that the logo is not APC or PDP, so don't judge us yet. Like, just read about this money first and then make your decision. And there are actually a lot.
Yes.
She said she has voter's card. It's not that she does not have. But her voter's card is just so that when they send her money from abroad, she'll go and use the voter's card to get it.
Yeah, it's understandable. It's understandable the level of hopelessness. The level of hopelessness on the streets is too high. To that extent that because why would I go out to vote when I'm a government on my own? I provide electricity for myself. I provide security myself. Yes. I provide water by getting a borehole, by digging a borehole myself. I do almost everything. So everybody in Nigeria already is a local government. So I'm my own local government. So why should I go out and vote? So the level of hopelessness, it has gone to that point now that Nigerians don't even that apathy towards electoral processes, even democracy. But that's why we cannot say we are in democracy, in what democracy really means. Because democracy, the normal way we are taught, is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But what we have presently is not that kind of. When people do not participate,
government of the few.
It's as simple as that. So by the few, so it is government against the many. So it is government of the few by the few against the many. Yes. So that's the kind of government. I don't know what you call that kind of government, but that's the kind of government that we run. That's the system of government we run. And because when people are being skimmed out of the process, totally, then you don't call that democracy. That's
true. Again, people, please keep donating. The number to donate on for Zenith Bank account details are pinned, I'm guessing, on all of the live streaming videos. 10060233871. Omoyele Sowore Presidential Campaign Zenith Bank account. And for GoFundMe, it's GoFundMe/Sowore2019. Yes. And somebody just walked in.
Woo!
Take it back.
Action.
Hey, see.
Take it back.
So, the owner of the couch.
The
couch is here. And he's coming to come and claim the couch.
Himself,
Yes, no. You think, You're getting used
to
this.
No, you know I'm not running.
It's good to me.
If I'm running, it's at Teslim Balogun Stadium. If I'm running.
Interesting. Or maybe, come on, you can run for maybe Senate or something.
Not
sure.
Not now.
They need your grammar or your English.
No, it does not. That does not change the society. It's clarity of ideas.
It's okay.
That's not grammar.
So in a few minutes we'll be bringing onto the couch the convener and the presidential candidates of AAC, president of Omoyele Sowore.
Take it back.
Action.
AAC.
Hi, sir.
How are you?
Hi, sir.
You say you're not running, but they say you'll be running your mouth.
You're welcome.
welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Ah, man, good evening, everybody. Have a seat, except it's not permitted that you sit beside somebody that might put you into trouble. Huh?
Don't see my hair.
These guys?
Uh,
Is that guy back? The one from the back?
and that's the condition to donate. Someone
What?
said that's his own condition.
We are not
Yes,
taking
500,000.
donations tonight. Thank you. You can keep your donation so that she can keep her hair
I
safe.
mean,
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you, everyone. Man. Today we had an amazing day. Traveling from Abuja, and also we had this very energetic meeting with the Akwa Ibom Association in Ajah area. Amazing people.
Oh, great.
Yes,
great,
amazing.
great,
They let it all out.
wow.
You know, the guy was saying Buhari is not coming back,
Coming back.
and it was the right place to be at the right time.
Seriously.
Yes.
Seriously.
And they have I think they have an event coming up December,
Yes.
and that's
In Akwa Ibom?
no, in Lagos. The association will have an event in Lagos.
Okay.
And we'll all be there. I hope
Yes.
to be there. I want to get my rapper,
Mm.
the judge.
I mean, by that time you'll be named F Young.
Something like that.
Oh, Okonkwo.
Ekpen Young. You know anything about Akwa Ibom and Calabar is Mpong and Social Right Pong.
That is not. That's Buhari. So yes, I just want to make a brief appearance this evening. Yes, did they make any donations?
Yes, Frederick donated $50.
But can I get my
They are alert phone.
phones that get alerts? Those ones are very important phones. Oh, don't mess with them.
Yeah.
Guys, so
Oh
it's
yeah, they
about
have
to
some Zenith
check.
Bank.
Yay.
Zenith Bank. Some people have been making donations. They donate on behalf of.
On behalf of
Of Zainab.
Zainab, yeah.
Yes. Hater.
So,
I was here
Ifa.
for.
Who knows you?
I've been
people
talking,
like
I've
you
been
not bringing
engaging.
money into
And-
this thing. Constance Ukamaka Okoli, 10,000 naira.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Abraham Abdul Salam,
Thank you, bye.
5,000 naira.
Thank you so much.
you.
Ekundayo Luayomi Moses, 1,000 naira.
Thank you.
And this is master fee, this monthly, all these bank charges, man. It's crazy. Shekoni Babatunde Monirudin, 10,000 naira.
Ooh, thank you, Sekoni.
Adeboye Semiu, 2,000 naira.
Thank you.
And Oyefeso Adedayo Mubolade, 25,000 naira.
Whoa!
Thank you guys.
So much.
I thank you guys
Keep
so
them
much,
coming, keep them
especially on days that we're not asking, you're giving.
Yes.
That's so amazing.
Yes.
So it's good to
Genuine
always
love.
also read
WhatsApp messages.
Yes, WhatsApp messages. Because people always leave us messages, nice messages. My president, why don't you take Natasha to be your VP? It's a very good match. I think she has the ability and the pedigree as a lawyer, and also have Russian blood. Russia. No, she's a member of APC, so
Nah.
she has to come to our party
Party,
to be able
exactly.
to be VP.
So tell Natasha.
She wants to be senator, and it's too late
Yes.
now. When you find who are VPs, you love the
Love
person. I
him or her.
Yes. So yes. So that's one message from someone.
They didn't write their names.
So wish you all the best. Okay, that's the Natasha message again. Oh, this one is going after Nigerian youth. So this not be me talking. So Nigerian youths are too foolish. They let politicians use them for killing and stealing from them while their children, families are abroad. Mentality is what we need to change. Thanks for spreading good news across Nigeria.
Oh, that's the
Thank
truth.
you. That person didn't leave a message, but strong words there. We're solidly behind you. Got your number on YouTube. We're solidly behind. Take it back. AC all the way. This is Alaba in the relay. So we're hitting the relay. I don't know when you'll be around. It's important because they said they want to blow up our whole area with Take It Back message.
Interesting.
They released some few minutes from my hometown.
Is it understood?
It's on Ondo State, yes. So somebody drawing our attention to what you say our country has become. Yeah. So someone just sent a donation from Take It Back. I mean, Zenith Bank. Rotimi Olamide Oyeleye, 5,000 naira.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you, Rotimi.
Rotimi.
Keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming.
Somebody sent me a message. Said, please, you should respond to that. Let me go to. You know where we get a lot of donations is GoFundMe.
Yes.
Yeah. So let me go check
We already
what
have a
GoFundMe.
Frederick.
Frederick donated.
Yes,
on
he said he
GoFundMe?
donated $50.
Wow, he will donate.
He will.
$50.
Oh, okay. We are waiting, Frederick.
Yes. Let me go and check GoFundMe here. Where's my second phone? I still have another phone. I don't trust you guys with my phone. That one, yes. Yes, thank you so much. That's Town Crier in the house. Town Crier in the house.
Bah!
Yes, Town Crier in the house. Yes. So let me go to GoFundMe and see how we're doing over there. Thank
So we have
you guys.
plenty.
They keep donating on GoFundMe, which is impressive. This is my campaigns. Take It Back Nigeria movement. Today we got $260 today.
Whoa!
So we're gonna
Thank
shout
you,
out
guys.
to Joshua Bannon donated $20.
Thank you, back.
Julie Oyefeso $100.
Thank you, back.
I
Thank you.
donated because I believe in you taking us to the promised land. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
that's
That's so
really
sweet.
deep.
That's town.
Oluwale Awojobi $20. And Dave Alegbe about 5 hours ago $20. Abiodun Longe $100 ago 13 hours ago.
Whoa! Thank you.
Thank you.
Donald Oji $20. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Jonah.
Daniel Olausebikon, I think we mentioned that $200. That's a lot of money.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And there was Don Ezeogo yesterday $100. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Samuel Alabi, he gave us $350 yesterday.
Whoa! Thanks,
Biomin
Sam.
Shofolaho again, we appreciate you $50. And KOJ gave us $50 yesterday.
Thank you.
Pauline, oh my God, I met this lady in Abuja and she's so lovely. You would think I've known her for 10 years. And she donated $100 as soon as she
Thank you.
Port Harcourt.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Pauline.
Pauline,
Yes,
Pizza,
Pauline.
Wemudia. I was trying to see if she could be on the couch with me in Abuja. So,
Oh, okay.
virtually. It didn't work out.
Maybe it will.
Maybe by now, there would have been less emphasis on you.
Ah!
Oh, yeah. I can tell you,
Pauline.
would have
Pauline.
been competition.
Yes,
Hey.
Pauline.
Peter Obemudia, $50.
Oh,
Thank you
so
Peter.
much.
Oge E donated $100.
Thank you.
Adeniji Dowu, $23 a day ago.
Thank you.
Alexa Were, $30 a day ago.
Thank
Martin
you.
Johnson, $10.
Thank you.
Ekunda Your Money, $100. Moturayo Oluwasegun, $350.
I thought it was our motor.
Yeah, if you start donating, then we have to investigate you. Opelola Adegoke, $200.
Thank you so much.
Oji Wokocha, once again, thank you, $100.
Thank you.
Bishola Aniyi Kaye, $400.
Ah!
Thank you so much. So that's what
Thanks, guys.
we have. Do we have any questions from our viewers tonight?
Questions, guys. Questions.
There's a question.
What was it?
Says, please consider making, it's not a question really, please consider making Chimamanda your VP.
Chimamanda, I met her. I told you.
Yes.
We met on a plane on my way to the US last month. Pretty cool. You know,
She's not running for any.
she's not. I don't think she's interested in politics.
Questions coming.
So anybody heard from Nnamdi Kanu today?
Yes.
What did he do? What was the
He
broadcast?
called you
like?
from Jerusalem.
That would be cool.
Call me,
Oh,
bro.
really?
Call me.
He called you.
Tell him to call me. You know, it's better to call people like us than to be calling Fani Kayode. You know, Fani Kayode. Fani
No,
Kayode.
but he
is-
said he pledged his support for Fayoshi though.
Huh?
Said Fayoshi will have a place in Biafra. He said he's coming back and he's visiting Nigeria. Like he's going to, all hell will break loose in Nigeria. And all that.
when he returns.
When he
Yeah,
returns,
yeah.
I was
I think he
very
needs to
curious, I
upgrade his friends. You know, Fayose, Fani Kayode, you know.
FF people.
Yeah, it's like not exactly the kind of people you want to associate with. But he's right to choose his friends.
Yes.
And
Fundamental.
so we're happy that he's alive and kicking, and we hope to see him back whenever he returns.
Safe.
So that's it. That's it.
Okolo is saying 9794. How do I make payments to AAC?
Payment AAC, you go to aacparty.com or .org and you can make payments there. It's very easy.
Yeah.
There's integration. There's a payment system integrated on the website.
Yes.
Very easy.
There's a question by Fajimi Paul, and it says, "What are we doing about villages where they don't see all these online campaigns?"
We've been going to villages. As you saw us in Abuja, that village we went to in Abuja, in Kwali. I don't think they watch anything online. I mean, we still saw mud houses that are built like buckets.
Oh.
Yes, just 1 hour from Abuja. It's unbelievable. It's
That means you don't have power.
power care. Even in Abuja, there's no power you're talking about. Kwali village.
Those are the kind of places you say, I'm going to my village, and after you're going to a village.
Yes. Yeah, don't talk bad about my village now.
But Mr. President, what do you think about, or what's your take on self-determination?
There's no way you can be a human rights activist and not support self-determination. I'm completely. It's a default position for me. That I'm one of the few people in Nigeria who at the earliest stages of life, had my own self-determination position. That is, I moved away from my parental positions, my village position. So I've pretty much created my own republic. So I can't not talk about it, but but there are bigger issues, of course. When you're talking about self-determination, how do you define boundaries? Are there issues we can resolve without breaking apart? One problem I have, which I don't think is a problem, is that maybe it came out of exposure. If you go to the US and you travel for 6 hours within the US, and everything is functioning, roads, water, sanitation, you get used to being in a big space. So you understand the problems better, that being in a small space don't guarantee you any kind of freedom or great life. You can be in a big space that is well governed and you love it. Everything in the US is big. It's a country they call Cadillac Nation. I'm not talking about the people. I don't judge people on weight. But there's a joke in the US that everybody in the US has an ego. That's why they drive big cars, because they have to fit their ego in the back of the car. But it's a huge country, and you'll be flying for hours. There are parts of the US that you could drive for 2 weeks and not get to.
Wow.
And there's a road everywhere. So I'm a lover of space. For me, I want the entire African continent to be a country.
Like that.
Yeah, where like you can go to South Africa in the morning and then fly back to Egypt in the evening, and then you go to Algeria and sleep, and then next moment you're in Kenya, and you can be everywhere. You can actually, there are places in the US in the US you could run from one part. There are runners in the US who run from one part of the US to the end.
Wow.
Yes, it might take months, but they run.
Wow.
Yeah,
That means it's not that big.
it's huge.
Very
The US is very
Like
big.
9 times bigger than Nigeria.
Nigeria, 9 times bigger than
I think it's more than 9 times. Alaska as it states is bigger, is the equivalent of Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Texas is 75% of Nigeria. Nigeria is only twice the size of California. So Nigeria is not big. It's why that's probably the reason they hate having arguments with me on TV. I heard that the TV stations now to invite me is a problem, because they don't know who to pair with me. If the person will survive the argument. Of course, we are not arguing with. They should. The people who should be having engagements and debates. They will never bring an article out.
We have a donation from Jim Olawa. He said he just donated 10,000 naira to the Zenith account.
Oh wow!
Take it back.
Then Giovanni Rasta is saying tomorrow morning 500 euros for a better Nigeria.
Wow!
Thank you, Giovanni.
Thank you very much.
We'll remind you
Be
tomorrow.
very, very careful when you say tomorrow morning. It happened to me. My dad was supposed to travel with me when I was younger. He said tomorrow we are traveling. So, and in our village, tomorrow morning is determined by a cock.
Okay.
So I went to his door and started crying like a cock.
Someone is asking how much for 200 t-shirts.
200 t-shirts. We have the t-shirt printer in the house. Can you do your calculation and get back to us so that they can make t-shirt? Lawa Jimo, yeah, we've seen 10,000 naira.
Take it back. Take it back.
Oluwafemi Kehinde, 2,000 naira.
Thank you.
Farm Aderemi Michael just made a donation of 5,000 naira. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Michael.
Anytime we have listen now, money keeps coming.
Yes.
It's the
But
time.
they
They
like to
stop
see the
donating
face.
the moment.
But you know that's being sexist.
Oh
No,
God.
like
It's
anytime
not.
Why
you have
is
Zainab
Femi
to
such
the
a
right.
hater?
No,
I don't
I'm
get
not saying that it's not sexism. I'm just saying we're just talking about engagement. You know,
It's fact.
is that there are people who were like want to get her number to talk about.
From Dubai.
But someone just said he misses me now.
Yeah, a guy.
A guy.
A guy.
That's,
Yeah.
that's just the
That's
funny
good.
thing about
No,
it.
but
That's
lots
good.
of guys
He missed me.
have been. They said you're a younger version of Shore.
Oh, interesting.
No, I don't want to be like that. I do not want to. Be
Same here. Seriously, I don't want to go through.
When I was at the university, this happened at the University of Lagos. I walked into this woman who was telling her son, under any circumstance you don't have anything to do with the guy they call Shore. I sent you to school to graduate. I heard there's a guy on this campus, don't have anything to do with him. Oh. So I was walking past the guy, so he's like, the mom is like, oh, so you know yourselves.
There's a question. Please, can you start bringing in state coordinators to brief us about their state happenings?
Yes, that would be great. That's a good suggestion.
That's a good
We can be doing that virtually too, where
Yes,
we'll do
we'll
it.
invite them.
We can do more than
We'll
one.
start on
Fantastic.
Facebook Live.
You know, people are very brilliant out there. You know,
And
brilliant
attentive.
idea. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a very
brilliant.
Very attentive.
Very brilliant people. That's why we cannot afford to be governed by dumb people.
Yes,
Whatever,
yes,
right?
that's just
Yeah.
it. That's just it. So, still on self-determination.
Yes,
and,
I know that I was rambling all over the place. No, I wasn't trying to bail out.
It's
Yeah.
it's the discussion and self-determination, restructuring, and all those debates that have heated the polity right now, especially starting from last year. We also have discussions on Yoruba Nation. You have discussions on region of Niger Delta, Rondell, and all of this. So, are you of the opinion that seceding from Nigeria is a solution, or seceding with the resources?
Yeah, I have a variety of ways of looking at these things.
Okay.
I've not seen clearly, except in the southeast, and not the entire southeast, where people have threatened to secede from Nigeria completely. A lot of people want a better Nigeria. I think they feel better in a better Nigeria than a fragmented Nigeria. I was around when they created states in the 90s, when Babangida created states. Between Oyo and Osun State, today they have not been able to resolve their boundaries and how to divide their assets.
Yes.
So, and my position is that if you secede from this Nigeria as we know it, you are still surrounded by Nigeria's problem. What are you going to do? Like construct a wall around your area? So let's say the Niger Delta Republic starts from where? It starts from Ondo State.
Yes.
So the map will now dodge Edo. Okay. Or let's say it includes Edo Delta. So it dodges the east. And then somehow it will resume again around rivers or whatever it is. It's going to be more difficult and chaotic. Especially if the secession is driven by resources.
Resources, yes.
You understand? So we will have another war. It happened in Ethiopia and Eritrea. They just
That was why
ended-
Biafra was also looking at Port Harcourt as being the capital of Biafra
yeah,
Republic when they became
so
Republic.
and
Because of the oil in
yes.
Port Harcourt.
And you look at also, so any form of self-determination that is driven by resources will end up in chaos because there will never be enough to share. Especially if you don't have people with good character. And most importantly, when you are surrounded by poverty, poverty will overtake you. But thirdly, anybody that is planning their succession based on oil, I'm sorry to say to you, you are running out of time.
Yes.
You know, you just discover that the day you finish the season, nobody's buying oil again. So maybe the new oil will then be cannabis. Yes, it could be. Yeah. So you have to now sit back to those states and
to the other states. You have the Kwale weed.
Oh, the Kwale, you know. Or the next resource might actually be solar energy.
Yes.
So Northerners will now be the people who have the resource because they will have solar farms in the place, and they now say to you, okay, where you had the oil, you mistreated us. So now you want to go and find job in Sokoto, in Kaduna, because that's where all the solar jobs are. What do you do? So people have to think ahead. You know, there's no clairvoyance in the rush to discuss secession as if it's as easy as that. Boundaries alone could take us another 10 years to define. Even if we all sit down and agree today and say, okay, we are not fighting over the breakup of Nigeria, you go your own. So you now get to Edo people now say, okay, draw the boundary. You know. And what about people even within these smaller republics who don't want to go with them? For example, where I come from in Ondo State, we are seen as Yoruba, but we are Ijaws. And they just don't fully accept us because we don't speak the Konkijo language, we speak Yoruba. So we are in the middle there. We don't even know where we belong. Whether we are Ijaw today, tomorrow we are Yoruba. You know, even in this Yoruba land that we are in, the Egbas feel superior to the Jebus. The Jebus feel superior to the Aworis. They call some people Dekwe. You know, there's nobody that's even more discriminatory than Yoruba people. You know, like they are so classist. You know, like, oh, look at that one. Okay. You know, this one's Araudo. And, you know, the Ekitis. Jebu. Exactly. They say it's one side is Jebu Riverside, the other one is original Jebu, the other one is fake Jebu. You know, so there's Jebu Jesha, there's Jebu Oyo.
You are not Jebu, you are Remo.
Exactly. It's Jebu. So
let's talk about
so, and then they come, you know, there's a lot of things that need. So I would think that if Nigeria were to be well governed and everybody feels happy and secure, people don't really care about all these boundaries. People are hanging on to what they can hang on to because people are suffering, and this suffering has led them to not want to have anything to do with the source of the suffering. And they see Nigeria as the source of it. Nigeria has a very bad reputation, you know, as a source of pain and suffering. Because when you carry the passport and you leave this place and you reach France and somebody pulls you aside, some 20-year-old immigration officer says, stand there. He doesn't even attend to you because you came from Nigeria and everybody is gone and you're looking at time. And you're saying to him, why are you? Oh, it's like, oh, you're still there? Nigeria. So what are you looking for in France, right? One did it to me one day. I said, I'm not even going to France. I'm just transiting through this place and you help me up. Oh, he's like, oh, I didn't know you were transiting. Yeah. So what do you think I felt at that point? I felt revulsion at the leadership of my country. Because I'm carrying a Nigerian passport. You know? And how you know that Nigerians don't really hate them? The moment we find ourselves in other parts of the world where things are fairly... we are at peace. We are at peace with ourselves. We attend, we go to club. We don't even... If a Nigerian arrives in the US in 2 weeks, he changes his accent completely. And any time he has a chance to do it, I don't want you to call me Femi. Call me Femi. This Femi coming. Interesting. So, because they don't want to be seen as this, you know, the pace and the race to just blend wherever we go. That's not Nigeria. It shows that we're like very upbearing people. We love it when there's no kind of identity that is limiting. But if there's no justice, if they break Nigeria into 20, it will still not be enough. Even within the 20, some other people will still want to break up.
And that's going to take me to this very good question, I think, according to my...
How do you determine the question?
That's why I said according to my own opinion. It's a good question.
All right.
And it is, yes, that, okay, we will all agree that Nnamdi Kanu has got that popularity at the point. He was just in fact, the most talked about guy. And so let me put it to you, Mr. President, that
Yes.
if you were Nnamdi Kanu, what would you have done better
Or differently.
or
No,
differently?
I have said it. I knew him very early in the game. I don't know when he started, but he came to the US, and we're one of the first to interview him on Sahara TV. And what he did that I didn't agree with in the early, and I think he corrected it, was the idea of demonizing other oppressed people.
Okay.
So this whole thing about Yorubas are stinky, Hausa
Yeah.
people are this and that, it was unnecessary. Because a lot of those oppressed people are also looking up to him as a
Yes.
liberator.
Yeah.
I remember when OPC was first started in Lagos, I was part of it in the student movement. There were Igbos in OPC. There were yes, there were Hausa OPC people, but the hardcore Yoruba irredentists came and drove all of them away. Because people saw OPC as a movement that was fighting for justice, and everybody wanted to be part of it.
Yes.
Because they said, look, if APC can liberate Yoruba, we too, they can help us to go and liberate us from our own oppressors. So, in a lot of, revolutionary movements around the world, there's no one tribe involved. People go there, train, they go and fight in their own part of the world.
Yes.
That was what Cuba did for the rest of, for most of Africa. That's why Che Guevara was popular.
Yes.
He started fighting in Cuba, they liberated Cuba, he went to Bolivia, after that he went to Congo, they were fighting everywhere,
And he didn't spend too much time in Congo. He came back.
Yes, because one, he
Said
had,
they were
they
not
had
ready.
malaria, and then Kabila
Yes.
was useless.
Yes.
And, years after, his position about Kabila became self-evident.
He even said that Africans are not ready for revolution, so he came back.
So it's a combination of a lot of facts. So for Kano, I think he's gone through the necessary growth, that people go through, and that's why I always recommend student unionism for people.
Yeah.
Because if you're a student union leader, there are certain things you would have learned at the beginning. You can be very popular. I said to people, I'm not saying this to diminish anybody, but we were also popular when we were younger. We were popular during June 12th. Or like these all the student union leaders everybody talked about, who used to appear on TV. We said things that people would be like afraid to say, and things like that. So I think by now he's had his own epiphany. And he must have understood that that's the only part I agree with. The demonization of other oppressed people. There was no need for it. The poor man in Naibawa, Kano is not different from the poor man in Lagos, and it's not different from the poor man. So when you start saying that,
has just one language.
yes, and at the top, for the oppressors, they have no tribe.
No tribe.
Babangida marries Abiola's son, daughter, and all of them are the same. When they want to share money, Ganduje Ajimobi's daughter married, so it's the same way they carry dollar in their pocket. So that was the only aspect, but I think they quickly realized that, and I hope he realized that. Maybe one more thing he needs to learn is the kind of characters, he's got to keep good company.
Mr. President, I have a question for you. You mentioned this in one of your interviews that the Constitution is one of the problems that we have in Nigeria because.
Do we have many views now?
271.
People have gone to sleep.
So because he said it was a fraudulent document that
the military made it.
The military concocted it and gave it to us, saying that it was the people that wrote it. So many government have attempted in terms of doing a constitutional review and the rest of it. So how do you intend to approach that? Because it's not within your purview as a president, to change the constitution. We all know
you can actually motivate people to change the constitution.
So how do you intend to motivate the Senate?
What has happened in the case of people who have tried to change the constitution in the past, that they've done it selfishly. When Obasanjo tried it was because he wanted a third term. When Jonathan did it, it was because he wanted a second term. So when you have that agenda, you find out that you will not get the kind of results. If they had done genuinely what should have been done, we would have had some far-reaching changes done to the constitution. In fact, at that time, Nigerians were calling for a change in the constitution. That they should pass through a referendum. There's nothing wrong with that. If we have a constitution that passes through a referendum, by now, so many of the problems with restructuring would have been taken care of. So many of the issues that have been raised in restructuring debates have already been debated and concluded. We just needed to put it and codify it and send it through the normal process for creating a brand new constitution. We've had so many countries create brand new constitutions. This is not rocket science. And I think we will do it in our own time. So before we go on, let's congratulate. These are regular supporters of ours. Tonight they're getting married. This is a congratulatory message to Mr. Tony and Monica EP.
Take it back, wedding. Take it back, wedding.
Yes, it's, take it back. Take it back. Congratulations to Professor Ikpe and family. Tony is Professor Ikpe is one of our great supporters. He's based in Ibadan. His son Tony is getting married to Monica today in Chicago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Action!
We can't be there with you, but send us some, cake.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Me, I want cake.
That's all she wants.
Alright, Mr. President, let me ask.
But before that, we have
What?
a donation from Samuel Anigbere, and says, I paid 50,000 naira into your account.
Let's check it.
Let's check.
Yes, let's check.
Before we clap, so we can take back our
You can
claps.
take out. No.
Then Bibbs East Styles 12 is saying, my president, how can I get in touch with Ikene Remo local government movement? I want to donate poster. I'm from Ikene local government.
Okay. Do you have the name so that we can send him a message? You can also send us a message, of course, on our WhatsApp group. Is
I think that's
08
from
It's
Instagram.
from Instagram.
Send a DM.
Instagram. Okay, send a DM and we'll get it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have Owundue Cosmos promising 200,000 naira tomorrow morning.
Wow.
Thank you.
So
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Guys,
you.
keep them coming. Tomorrow is Monday. Banks will open, so make your transaction.
Questions.
Questions, okay.
Okay. First from Toles Felix. Please, sir, what are your plans concerning importation in Nigeria?
Just
Nigeria
general
border.
importation.
Yeah, general importation in Nigerian border.
And Nigeria border.
Okay. Well, I think we've spoken about
Yes,
it,
we
but
have.
we'll say it again that maybe the person needs to be specific. Importation is a broad
Yes.
topic.
Importation of what?
We'll be here till tomorrow morning.
Yes.
And all these three people you have on the couch, they can talk.
Because let me just drop my own question, and it still has to do with this self-determination
And it's a
thing.
very good
Because
question.
it's a very good question, because this debate is is coming up again, especially with the reappearance of Nnamdi Kanu. It's coming up, and so I want to say, Mr. President, when you become president and you have an Nnamdi Kanu, another Nnamdi Kanu, how will you handle that situation?
Oh, it's
Who is calling for Biafra? Who is calling for Oduduwa nation?
Yes.
How will you handle that situation?
In fact, there will be a lot of those people because they will understand that we're coming from a democratic background, and that, in my view, is the reason why we would definitely have to create a new constitution that will resolve so many of these problems. The reason why these issues are cropping up over and over again is because we're ducking away from them.
Yes.
Each time they come out, we just find a way to either placate, or
Jail,
suppress
jail
people.
the
Yes.
person.
What you do is, I want to see Nnamdi Kanu and all other militants go to a conference, stay there, lock themselves up, and say what they want. Let him meet the one from the south, the east, and the north. Let us have a discussion about what we want, and we can't keep deceiving ourselves that these problems will go away simply because we wish them away. But you will be surprised that kind of an opportunity for people to have conversation, including all of us. Nnamdi Kanu is not the only person who wants a discussion about Biafra.
Yes.
There are other Biafrans also who have a different opinion about this. Everybody will come together and have a conversation. There are people who have businesses all over Nigeria who want Nigeria to even be bigger than the way it is, and they are from Biafra too. What I keep telling people is that the cry for Biafra is a cry for justice.
Yes.
It's a cry because people are marginalized. Imagine if they have good roads in the south, if they have electricity, and they can do business and make money, and have their dreamland. Do you think people really want to care whether there's
nobody will care, actually.
It's because if I can go from Lagos to Biafra tonight, nature, without having to be afraid of kidnappers and good roads, electricity, or I can get on a train. Do you think anybody will really be like, oh, the only thing I want is to break up? Every year in the US, people call for the breakup of the US. When Obama won election, there was a whole militant group in Texas that said they want to secede from the US. But the moment the economy started booming, they just started, spending Nigeria. But in some cases, it's not as simple as that. I must admit, because there has been institutional injustices. Like as I keep saying, you can't kill 3 million people and just hope that one day they'll forget. No, it's not going to happen. You have to fundamentally address those issues, bring people to the table, have discussions, conversations, and create documents that will bind people together. And when we then put the document through, even sometimes, and I mean it seriously, even a referendum for Biafra is something we should test.
Yes.
It
could just work.
It could just be like, oh, the moment the referendum passes or fails, we know where we are going.
Yes.
I'm open-minded about a lot of things because I know that, people who are open-minded can create open societies, and cohesive societies. But close-minded people are the reason why we are where we are today. So you want to keep your own side of. A lot of them have their own republics. In this country, people created Islamic republics through Sharia, and nobody could touch them for treason. When you set up Sharia in states, what do you think you're trying to do? You're trying to break up the country. He said, but nobody was tried for treason for doing that. But the guy who gets on a radio show and says, I want to break up, that you can start trying him for treason. And you expect these people to feel like, oh, some people are superior in Nigeria, some other ones are inferior. I think that will get this. I know these issues are controversial, but you are here on the couch where controversy takes a seat. Well, controversy takes a back seat here because we get into bigger controversies here every night.
Yes. So questions.
Yes. You're done with your own good questions.
Yeah.
Finally. Okay, so people, please drop in your questions, your comments.
Michael Monday says, what is your plan about electronic ID of every Nigerian?
Every Nigerian to have an electronic ID. We already do now practically. It's not. We have 4 or more places which we collect bio data of Nigerians. They have biometrics of you all over the place. What we need is data security. Have all of them in one place and secure. There should be law guiding who is in charge of our data. Right now, banks have their own, phone companies have their own, the national ID has their own.
So even they have planning.
It's
national planning and
exactly. They have all of them. The immigration have their own, but you should have all of. INEC has got their own. For instance, I think instead of even doing registration of voters every year, just collect all these things. When someone turns 18, send them a message that this is your, come and collect your PVC. You don't need, in the US, the passport is collected from the local post office. You don't need to go to one passport office that we went to last 2 weeks ago. And the place is, the moment you create those kind of places anyway, you are bound to have corruption. Because it's so difficult to get passports, then somebody will get desperate and bribe somebody. But in the US, you just drive to your post office, you go there, you ask the postmaster, they'll give you a form, you fill it, they'll collect it back, you get, if you want to expedite it, you do it, and in 2 days you get your passport. So you don't need to bribe anybody, and it's a crime for anybody to ask you for a bribe to get your passports. But here is a crime not to give a bribe.
Not to give a bribe.
To get the passports.
Wow.
Okay, Adeyemi Dairo says, Mr. President, can you comment on the EFCC releasing Omishore and Obanikoro's passports?
Oh, you know that I was responsible for getting Obanikoro, Omishore, and Fayose through Ekiti Gate. It was the handiwork of Sahara reporters. So we have discussed enough about the hypocrisy of the anti-corruption law. This is just a major one again, where you imagine Fayose sitting down in prison tonight, and Obani Koro in the US, attending to what he claims is medical treatment, is the nonsense that they call anti-corruption war. You know, so Obani Koro, who is the one who handed over the bribe to Fayose, he's now going to testify
against the person who collected the bribe.
And so they're going to see each other, and Obani Koro is going to respond like, "Yeah, Shebi, I gave you the money." Now. And he's going to be like, "Yeah, but I collected it too now." And the government is going to be like, thank you. Thank you for giving him the money. Thank you for giving him 4.5.
One is now in APC, the other is in
PDP.
So
exactly.
It's rubbish. It's and this rubbish must have expiry dates.
Definitely. Yes.
2019 February.
Yes, 2019 February 16 is the expiry date of the rubbish.
Exactly.
High rubbish.
So, Mr. President, I have a question for you. Well, how do you, what do you see about the Senator Shehu Sani leaving the APC?
Defection.
Has it gone to PDP?
No, we hasn't declared it.
He said he'll announce in 48 hours.
Yeah,
Maybe it's better to wait 48 hours.
Before commenting.
he might just want to come to ASU.
I doubt it. Shehu Sani is my friend, but I have issues with him. I think he was a letdown in this last Senate.
You told him now.
Yeah, I told him to his face several times, and I told him like, if you go to a Senate where we expect you to be, if we expected one firebrand in the Senate, we thought it would be Shehu Sani, but he went there, melted into the Saraki dynasty of corruption, and never said a word. I cannot hold on to what he said. That would make me proud of my association with him, and I've told him that several times. So I wish him good luck wherever he goes. I doubt that he's coming to AC. If he was coming to AC, he would have contacted us. It's 48 hours in the last 24 hours. So, but I wish him good luck. But he said something very key tonight. I watched somewhere he said Buhari should pick somebody. He's pretty much telling Buhari, "You are done. I'm done with you." That he should pick somebody he can trust to lead as presidential candidates. I don't think that Buhari is
Ready to do that.
Buhari is capable of picking anybody for us. Even if he's not running, I would not accept a person that he picks. Yeah, I've been involved in development, so this is something interesting from what's up, and it has to do with renewable energy. Say, Mr. Ashura, I've been following your camp for the last 5 months. That's a long time. Wow. You've given us a lot of hope for the future. I wish you all the best. I'm seriously supporting your camp. By engaging my families and friends in Nigeria to follow you.
Thank you.
I spoke a lot about you spoke a lot about renewable energy. I'm pleased to say to you that I'm working for the UK largest bioenergy project.
Whoa.
I've been involved in development, commissioning, and operating several biogas plants here in the UK. We generate about 150 megawatts of electricity per day from sewage waste.
Wow.
Yes. A technology that can make Lagos self-sufficient in electricity.
Oh, Lord.
But I'll be glad to meet with you when next you visit London. Have a good night rest. Thank you, man.
From sewage. Interesting.
November, we have a big program in the UK, November 10th, 11th.
So I have a friend of mine is upset with me. Say, my name is Peter from Delta State. I've been following you from Johannesburg, South Africa. I text this number, no response. This is how you will ignore people? No, I don't ignore people. Text me again, and I will talk to you after the show. Thank you so much. Can you please kindly comment on the spread of insecurity currently underway in Southern Kaduna, where innocent lives are being lost on a daily basis? What do you think can be done to avert this unending situation? Secondly, what is your plan to revitalize the image of our military and paramilitary organizations who are fast becoming political tools to perpetuate executive rascality? Wow, that's deep. I've always said it. You heard me a few weeks ago when I said we need to get rid of all these army generals, paramilitary leaders. They have become a burden on our security forces. Our security forces are just top heavy. I've traveled in Abuja, I see army generals. And when you see them, you know that they have no intention of going to war front. Don't talk about Port trying to make me a little bit. They used to call them pepper soup generals. we need to really work on our security agencies to reorientate them, retrain them, and bring back the values of the military that used to help us defeat the war in Liberia. We fought in several places and come back home gloriously. But what we have now, we can't even defeat a ragtag Boko Haram insurgency. They said Boko Haram is even staged stronger comeback. Now you now have Southern Kaduna. You see how the crisis in Benue and Plateau and Adamawa and Taraba, everything is falling apart in the country. We do not have a commander-in-chief of the armed forces. That's the problem. All right, so let me go back to what's up. Keep engaging the people.
Okay,
Raising funds.
The funds.
yes, town crier. Thank you very much. So please, people, come on, donate. Zenith Bank account details, GoFundMe bank details. You can also do the word remit. So for Zenith Bank, 10060233871. Omoyele Sowore Presidential Campaign, Zenith Bank. And for GoFundMe, it's www.gofundme/Sowore2019. So please donate as little as you can. $1, $2 is going to go a long way. And if you don't want to donate today, you want to enter bank tomorrow, it's like
We're expecting
11:36.
200,000. All of us are here salivating.
Tomorrow.
If you want to donate
That's true.
posters, t-shirts.
Yes, anything that you can donate. It doesn't have to be money. So far as you know that it's going to benefit the movement.
Yes.
Please,
You want to donate
please,
yourself.
Please, exactly. You want to
Donate
donate
your
your
brain.
vehicle
Yeah.
to be branded. You want
Donate your
Your
brain.
brain.
Yes.
you can bring yourself ideas, suggestion, whatever it is that is going to help this movement. So please do it. Do it for the sake of Nigeria. Do it for the sake of unborn children, so that they'll be happy and they'll be born into a very nice, very accommodating.
World, yeah.
Yes, so
Not the kind
we
of
are
hostile
suffering.
world that we
We
were
are
born
suffering.
into.
We are
Yes.
suffering. So guys, please seriously keep donating. Like I usually say, we are not run by any godfather or god society anywhere, honestly, and that is why we come to do corporate begging here and now. The word is saying us begging, and everything that you are donating, we are saying it out. At the end of the day, you see account balance,
Yes.
and you see what we spend the money on for campaign, for Kawaka.
Our staff people are hovering around here. They want to
Seriously.
get paid.
Some of them could not
So,
go
Mr.
home.
President, can you tell us
Exactly.
about some of your itinerary that
Well, we're working to get to Australia this week. We have town hall meetings and fundraisers scheduled for Brisbane, Perth, Sydney, and I think Melbourne, yeah. About 4-city tours. Looking forward to that. We might not. We're still working on Joe, but the big thing after that is, of course, UK. November 9th, 10th, and 11th. So we'll be in the UK. Those of you who have been asking us to come to Manchester, we're coming. London, we're coming. And, surrounding areas, the Oshodis.
UK people be ready?
Yes.
Exactly.
And November
By
6th.
November.
November 6th.
Obafemi Awolowo University.
So we'll be there.
Yes,
We
back on
have
direct.
we have it tight. We're booked. Yeah.
Fully booked.
Fully booked.
Schedule tight.
To the
Yes.
extent.
That's how we spend the money. Some of the money.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
continue to support us and
Please just keep supporting.
when someone
Our
asks me
10,000
how do you get the
challenges,
energy, I get it from all of you. Honestly,
Yes.
It's, that's where it comes from. Comes from you. Yes, you. Yes, you.
You wish.
That's where my
That
energy
is the
comes.
10,000 challenge.
10,000 challenge is still on. I think at this point we've reached. Let me see what Dear Chuck sent our accountant. But we miss her.
Yeah, we do. And Rachel too.
Rachel, come back very soon.
We miss them. Come back, guys. Come sit on the couch again.
We need you.
Those are
Need your support,
other reasons why people
financial
donate.
support, moral support.
When-
Should not be donating because of me.
Well, they are donating because of you, because you brought these people to them. So
Fola Shade Olushola just gave us $50.
thank you.
And go for me. TT donated $30.
Thank you, Sissy.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
It's just a TT.
Okay, T.
Yeah.
T.
Double
T.
Yeah,
Double
double
T.
T. Just like we have our party name Double AC.
Yes, double AC.
Yes.
Zenith.
Zenith is having network problems. That's the only thing I can. We haven't seen
Come on,
anything
Zenith.
pop up. But let me see. Sometimes when people donate and we don't hear from Zenith, they'll say something inside here.
Come on, guys.
So, Coach, I say good evening to you, my humble, honorable president. Please, have you been able to upload the song title "Take It Back" by Charles, featuring Petuz on SoundCloud?
Is that
Charles,
okay?
that song should go on SoundCloud. We have spoken to our SoundCloud people.
That's not one manager.
Can you reach out to trade union and Nigeria Labour Congress to support because the government can't help them? Yes, we will reach out. My president, honestly, I don't have a PVC, but I have been able to convince over 144 people.
Oh.
Family, friends, and enemies. And I will come home in December to do a big campaign rally for you.
That's
the way
It's
to go.
cost, and I'm positive that majority of the people in our Greek and the Korodu area will vote for you. I promise you that I've donated to this campaign. I will continue to donate every month.
That's the way to go.
Thank you very much.
Take it
Back. Take it back.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so
That's
much.
beautiful.
Take it back.
That's why
That's
when,
why
when,
he
when
said-
people complain about grassroots people are not doing
Yeah,
grassroots. This is the way to do
Yeah.
grassroots.
Instead
One
of
person
complaining
should tell
about-
the next
yes.
person, another person tells the next person, and that's grassroots.
See, one thing
Everybody has a root in the
One thing
grass.
I've said that I know is that after we're done with this election, we would have recreated the way politics is done in
Yes,
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Ideas will replace money.
Yes.
Grassroots will become virtual.
Yes.
You know, the analog will be replaced by digital.
That's
You know,
true.
what's happening with our friend in Oyo State? The inconsequential minister.
No,
We
he's
spoke
already.
about
I
him
spoke
earlier.
about him earlier.
It's suing
Yeah,
APC and
already, you know, you told him these days one would have to be very careful with.
You
You told him that by this time next year he will not be smiling.
No, so we
But
are
he's,
before
in
the
fact,
election, he is now the
September
former-
already
Mm-hmm.
is going to be a former minister. I think
Minister.
maybe next week,
Mm.
this week, because he's being pressurized to resign.
resign.
So one has to be very careful with Shore.
Who
That's
is
just
now
the summary. Of it.
inconsequential?
So we want to know the inconsequential.
My
And he has
wedding
also
is
lost.
coming up on December 1st in Zaire. You and the entire Take It Back movement are cordially invited.
Go on there.
Zaria.
The guy.
You should give your name though. I always ask people give your name.
Give your name now, Zaria. Let us come.
So people don't want to give their name. Maybe you know how these weddings happen. Somebody has to lose out for somebody to get the wedding. So they don't want to panic buttons and alarm. You don't want people showing up on the wedding day like, I mean, it's supposed to be you.
So guys, please keep donating, keep donating. Thank you so much for everybody who has actually donated today, yesterday, days we've not been online, days we've been. Thank you so much. Please keep donating. In fact, if you can do it every day, every week, we don't mind. Trust me, we don't mind. We need every
Somebody
time.
get a comment here. Good evening,
That's
Mr. President.
yeah.
Don't you think it's okay to extend this all to the hospital, like paying a surprise visit to the hospital? At least those people also need some love.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. We should go to
We don't know the value of health until we see it.
Yes,
It was increasing too.
I valued her the last few days that my nose was running, I was having cold, I was in bad shape. Yeah.
That's
running
Thank
nose.
you. Thank you
can
for
spoil
that
you much.
suggestion.
Thanks for that suggestion.
Thank you for donating your brain.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we are saying. We have a
Intellectual
horrible
contribution.
healthcare system. Horrible healthcare system in Nigeria. So
Somebody asked me today at the Aqua Bomb, said, do you go to Nigerian hospital? Yeah, I told him, I said, I've been everywhere. Hospital, Babalawo, herbalist, everything.
Churches, mosques.
Everything. It's amazing how people survive this country. How people survive in this country. Well, it's two ways: how you survive this country and how you survive
in
this country.
in every sense. And,
We only existed.
oh yeah, we're not living.
that's true. And we have to start living. So because we want to start living, is why not living, or living. Is why we keep saying donate so that we can win in 2019, and all of us can, cease to just exist but start living properly. So we'll survive the country and survive in the country. That's the idea. I mean, people in the diaspora should be able to come back home. They should want to come back home. Willingly, decide to stay back in Nigeria. Cause me like this, my load is at the airport already. If anything happens 2019, God forbid, I'm leaving. So
I have to announce health. We have a brother in the house who underwent surgery tonight. I don't want to mention his name. But he said it's successful. He's a member of the Take It Back. Very hardworking. So he just sent me a message that he had a successful surgery. Shout out to him. Shout out to you, bro. You know yourself. We're with you here.
Be strong.
Thank you so much.
We love you.
Yes.
We love you so much.
So it's 11:45. I think we can call it a day.
Yes.
One thing I love about you guys is that whether we're on air or not, you donate.
Yes.
Can you take a picture of us?
On the couch?
Yeah, on the
So,
couch.
Mr. President, quick one.
It doesn't matter.
Maybe the last question. Can you address specifically, a lot of people do complain that you look fatigued, you look tired, and they want to know if it's really, if it's true that you're tired or it's just that way, that's the way you look.
That's how I am. Anybody who says that, just say, I just say, Father, forgive.
Me, I have
most times when you,
what's your opinion?
When you go abroad, or let me say, when you go in the abroad and come back, that airport time is always like, oh my God, they've buffed him up. But give him 2 days.
No, okay, 2 days.
He's not even trying. 2 days inside Nigeria.
No.
You look like
You better get used to me being in Nigeria.
I think it's the weather.
What's your opinion?
No, why?
It's the
No,
weather.
it's that is there, but the other part is that I just have this look that I've always had.
Innocent look.
Innocent look.
So I look tired, but sometimes when I look tired is when I'm actually strong on the inside. But that's just me, It's difficult. I'm not blessed with great eyes. My eyes are barely open, So, but I'm strong, and I was tired the last few days because I was sick, But now I'm back and feeling better, strong.
And stronger.
Yes.
Those that are seeing him look tired are understanding that Nigeria is tired. And Nigerians are
I'm tired and sick of sick and tired leaders.
And that was the opening line.
Collaboration,
Exactly.
When he said, I know you people are expecting the best from me, but I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm tired. I'm like, what?
No, I
No,
said
he said I'm sick.
I'm sick.
Like, what? I'm
then
sick and tired. That's the line.
Ades
That's the line.
Obafemi says, my president, I would like to donate 2 big billboards of AAC to Idepe and Okitipupa.
Idepe? Wow.
Idepe and
Fantastic. Thank you.
so much.
We're there the other time.
Can we note that?
Idepe.
Follow up.
We're there last week Sunday, right?
Yeah. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you so much.
the Idepe man.
Idepe?
Idepe.
It's not Idepe.
Idepe. Oh, sorry. Idepe.
So, sir, is it time to...
We're tired.
It's your couch.
We're tired of working in another country in Austria. If you win in 2019 presidential election, I'll come back home and
That's
work
what
on
we're
my
saying.
home.
That's
All
what
we
Take it
need
back.
is light and good
That's
healthcare
cool.
system and good roads. With
Yes.
this, Nigeria will be great. From
Yes.
Imariago or Samu Diame. You guys have to give it to me. I know how to pronounce it. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I couldn't participate fully because of that Star Hall meeting we had with the Akwa Ibom brothers and sisters in Ajah area of Lagos. So if you are in Australia, it's good morning.
Yes.
If you're in Nigeria,
It's good night.
good night. If you're in America, it's probably
Good evening.
good evening,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Where could you be, wherever you may be
Everywhere is
tonight,
good
this
day.
morning?
Good day.
It's great to be with you, and thank you for keeping faith with the movement.
Yes.
And our broadcast every night. We'll be back tomorrow. Same place, no. Same time, no. Yeah, we'll be back sometime tomorrow. Probably we'll be on the road with the couch tomorrow again. So So see
You
you.
never can tell we're updated.
Yeah,
On
we'll
the
keep
road,
you
on the
updated.
couch, on the
Exactly.
But
road.
regardless,
Turn on push
you know,
notifications.
keep
Notification, yeah.
Zainab will keep you updated about how things are moving.
So that I can
So
keep it.
please, before we leave, we are calling on all our members all over the country to start doing grassroots campaigns.
Yes.
You know, I know you are waiting for us to say go and do it. No, you don't need for us. You know, if you need posters, you need handbills, let us know.
Sticker.
You don't have to get those things to go to the market and say, hey, this is well, you need to show them. So, and please let us know. We need a whole week of just grassroots,
Yes.
you know, sensitization of
That they
people.
will be.
But, you know, like from now, starting from tomorrow, Monday, go out there and tell at least 144 people.
People like yes,
Yeah, like
yes.
that I want to
Yeah.
did about AAC and our
About-
presidential candidate. And I'm no longer an
I'm not
aspirant.
aspiring. Go and take it back.
Take that back.
Take that back.
Presidential aspirants.
Candidates.
Take that back.
Take it back.
Back.
Presidential candidates.
Yes.
We also have several positions that have been filled. I mean, we have contested in a lot of positions and we're resolving some issues with them. But we've officially submitted our forms to INEC, so we're in the system. And we'll take it from there. Next time, have a good night.
Sir, before we quickly say good night, for everybody who actually, is willing to go to the grassroots, you can do this for us. Please take pictures
Yes, and
and
send them to us.
videos
Yeah.
and send them to any of the Facebook accounts. Or
I will be
Instagram
uploading them as they
accounts.
come
Exactly.
in.
So that we can, motivate other people.
You can go to
the
church,
same.
talk to people, go to the
Anywhere,
marketplace,
just
Yes.
go to local school,
pictures, send
university,
videos.
secondary school.
Yeah, parlors.
Yes.
Beer parlors, yes. A lot
Yes.
of people.
A
And
lot
they
of
talk
people.
politics in those
Beer
places.
parlors, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beer
They do
parlors,
food
yeah.
joint.
Or you go to
canteen.
newspaper
markets.
stands.
Yes,
Yes.
vendors. Those,
Yes.
I mean,
Yes,
even
sitting
inside
rooms.
public bus, the way we have.
Yeah, just
public
start
preachers.
act as if you want to sell something to
Yes.
the people in the bus.
They will
Herbal
buy. You are selling
medicine,
something.
yes.
You are
Yeah,
selling
like
products.
herbal
Yeah,
medicine.
herbal
You are
medicine.
selling ideas.
Tell them that you have this idea to sell to
That
them.
is herbal.
Exactly.
And tell
That
them
is
that
organic.
this idea you have
Is
is the
organic.
idea that has helped a lot of countries around the world. And
And
after, if they accept the idea, they will never need to buy medicine on the bus ever.
Never. That's
They
all
would
you
listen.
need. So thank you
listen,
so
they
much,
will listen.
guys. Thank
So
you
before
for.
we leave, we want to say a big shout out to the folks in Australia.
Wow.
We're coming to see you.
Yes, soon, yeah. We'll be in
And
Australia.
also in London. Thank
London, we're coming here with Manchester on the 9th, London 10th, and on the 11th we'll still be in London as well. And we'll be everywhere in Nigeria. We're planning a 36 states
Right.
grand rally.
Yes.
We'll be everywhere. By the time we're done with them, by December, it will be obvious to them that this election is
We
over.
don't even need
Take
to-
it
you just
back.
Action!
AAC.
Take it back!
You just
Those
watch
who
it.
are articulated now will be dearticulated.
No articulate.
Thank you so much.
Take it back!
Take it back!
Action!
Have a good night.
Good night.